Yeah. All right. Hey, listen. Welcome, everybody. Good evening. You know what I'm saying? It's another Sunday.
Yeah.
But whenever you listen to this post, I hope it's a great experience for you.
Let's go.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's time for the Bolts bonus from the #1 hip hop podcast in the world.
You damn right.
You know what I'm saying? I just checked with Jesus. He told me himself it's the #1 in the world. You know what I'm saying? And we call that joint banging
on lunch tables.
And I am Cam Quote.
It's your boy Mike Jones.
And we got 3 special guests in the building, even though one doesn't consider himself an artist. But hey, we're going to highlight everybody. We're going to talk to everybody in the room. So I want to just go down the line. You know, normally I just introduce people, but like when you got 3 people, and plus I heard like a super smooth ass, AKA during the mic check, so we got to let my mans get that off. You know what I'm saying? And so we're going to go right down the line with my man, you sir.
You already know, it's your boy Denzo Laflair, Denzo 2 times, you know, I put on for Chicago, I put on for the pole, you know?
There it is.
It's your boy KaSean, man, a.k.a. Bobby Tender Love. We putting on for the South Side, man. You already know what it is. Get into him.
Oh, shit. Hey, listen, hold on real quick. Bobby Tender Love, though, that shit's hard. That shit's hard. On life, that shit is hard.
Yo, what up, y'all? It's your boy Obs3rve, Obs3rve. Get in tune.
Yes. So, man, hey, thank you all for stopping through on the Sunday, man. We appreciate y'all.
Appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for having us.
Yeah, absolutely. We met Obs3rve at the media day for the Swank PR joint, and he said he had 2 artists that he wanted to come through and sit and talk with us with, and we always open to have conversation.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? And it's important that we do this just for not only content purposes, but just to let people know that, you know, we out here, we paying attention, we listening, and we look forward to anybody in the game trying to progress. So it's a pleasure to have all you gentlemen here. You know what I'm saying?
Man, it's the crazy part is when you said that last part, progress.
Yeah.
It's gonna come full circle within this conversation, basically. But
No doubt.
Yeah, let's go.
No doubt.
I'm with it.
Absolutely. So let me see. KaSean.
What's good, man?
All right, Bobby Tender Love, by the way. What was the moment that got you to say, man, I'm going to pursue the music industry. I'm going to pursue a career in music?
That's a tough ass question, man. Look, okay, so I've been doing music since I was like 13, 14 years old.
Okay.
When I started off doing music, it was no writing process, it was no beat process, no production process, none of that. It was strictly just me finding beats on YouTube and freestyling to my best ability of them joints.
Right.
Or just walking down the block with like my brother and our homies and just freestyling. Constantly battling each other for no reason, just going in. And then one day we sitting in the crib. We sitting at my grandmother's crib because I've never been just a kid to just stay at the crib. Like I would live with my uncle, my mom, like whoever I just felt like being around at the time. It's who I was grabbing my clothes and going with. And it wasn't like I was homeless or nothing like that. It was just I just never liked staying
Just
one
kind of
spot.
just like a roamer, a wanderer.
Never
You know what
like
I'm saying?
staying in one spot. But me and my brother, we was at my granny crib, and even though it was the granny crib, that was the name of the whole crib. So anytime anybody wanted to know where we at, granny crib, and they knew exactly where we was at.
Nice.
But we was sitting there and we was listening to these Jay-Z instrumentals because we were just freestyling. And I accidentally played the song, and I was hearing Jay-Z go just nuts. It was some shit off like The Blueprint. I was like, okay, he's spazzing. And I was like, damn, I want to write a verse.
Okay.
And then my brother was like, shit, let's do it.
Okay.
From then on, I was just writing. And in high school, kept with it, ended up doing like a little talent show sophomore year. It's crazy because I did the talent show, I wrote this song for this chick. Trying to be a smooth motherfucker.
Tender Love.
Right.
Ended up working out because that was a dope situation at the end of the day. But man, I had dreams of wanting to be a producer, and then when I started writing, I was like, man, maybe this is
okay. So do you produce any of your own material now, or is it strictly?
I don't. What I do is I will sit with my producers though, and I will guide them or tell them like what I want or what I like.
Nice.
Okay.
So you kind of have a whole range of like, okay, this is my sound. I hear it.
Yeah.
Help me.
Yeah,
bring that to fruition, basically.
It,
okay, nice, dope. Same question for you, man. K 2 times, or I hope I didn't butcher that. My bad.
Nah, you good. So I ain't gonna lie to you. I really just got into the music like 2 years ago.
Okay.
So I was in school for a little minute, and so I grew up hooping. That's what I was doing.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? Went to school for a little minute, came back. Now I was just going.
This man, he's not rapping.
Bro,
He's
like,
not rapping.
I ain't gonna lie though, like what really made me get into the shit, like I used to watch battle rap, you know,
Okay.
Smacks and stuff like
Okay.
that. I grew up on that. Murder Mood, J Mills, the series,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Shout out
Like,
URL,
for real, like man. So and I don't know, I just like the way niggas will talk to each other. You know what I'm saying? You know when you really saying something to somebody and they can feel it,
Yeah.
Right.
but you ain't supposed to show it. You know what I'm saying? That
Right.
shit is real to me. You can't, you know, explain that. You know?
Yeah.
So I was fucking with that, and I don't know, bro. I just came back. My brother hit me up, was like, "Oh, you wanna get in the studio?" Got in the studio. I like the way I sounded. Shit was crazy, man. I don't know. For me, I just love being in the studio. That's it.
Hey, that's really important though, to love the way you sound, because you hear about so many artists that like, man, I hate the way that sound, but they be like, no, this shit decent. You know what I'm saying? This shit hot. Like, go ahead with it. So for you to even hop in the booth and be like, nah, I like what I'm hearing, I'm sure that's got to be encouraging for you to just keep going, keep pressing, keep trying to evolve and create yourself into a real artist, like that's really putting out tangible product every single time. So because you about to educate me, North Pole,
Yes, sir.
I'm getting old, right? So geographically, for people like me, like, and just for people that's listening, in Chicago, because you always hear about, you know, everybody throw out, you know, K-Town, the hundreds, you know what I'm saying, the low end, like Wrigley, like, even like, you know what I'm saying, like people throwing their shit out. So like, so the North Pole, tell us where the North Pole is in Chicago.
So I mean, two. You know, they consider it two spots really. Like mainly is, you know, Rogers Park and Uptown. You feel me?
Okay.
So,
All right.
I grew up in Rogers Park all my life, literally, ain't no way around it. You know what I'm saying? And shoot, that's just what it is. It's
Yeah, no, hey, listen, because you know, I mean, y'all know from the bad press, especially when we had a president from Illinois in the White House, like they only focus on like where bad spots are, where like the most. To get the most reaction, like Inglewood was like just the, oh man, oh you in Chicago, are you in Inglewood? Get out, run for your life. It's like, yo, come on, like stop it, like you shouldn't even be over there anyway if you just visiting unless you got family. But it's like so so when it is a region like, you know, again, like I said, like, you know, the Humble Park, the Grants Park, Rogers Park, but like, you know, I didn't know Rogers Park, North Pole, like I didn't know that was one thing even for myself. So that's good because the next question I got is are you the only artist from that North Pole era, or is it just like a slew of y'all that we need to get in tune with?
Man, I ain't gonna lie to you. It's now, and it's crazy. I mean, it's a couple motherfuckers that was doing it from the beginning, but like now it's a slew of us. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like I said, like I ain't gonna lie. Like Pappy had put us on with the like just giving us awareness on what's going on. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And he passed away, which is, you know what I'm saying. It was what it was. RP.
Condolences.
You know what I'm saying? But shoot, then I out the jump though, like people was rapping, but it wasn't, you know, none of the violence was really being previewed. You know what I'm saying? So that's why it was just it was a different energy. But after all that happened, you feel me? We just got a little region. We just called it the Pole. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's just what it was. Cause like I think it really defined that. People don't even look in that term like the right way. Cause I feel like it's violence. But, you know what I'm saying, it's like low-key violence that can happen anywhere. So, like, it's cold. Like, out south, out west is hot.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Of course.
It's just different. Like, it's upside down. Like, I don't know. Something can happen to you anytime, and it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But it's the Pole.
I dig it.
All right, now I gotta ask, man, since you mentioned being influenced by the smack and battle rap and all that, man, side note. Who is your favorite battle rapper of all time?
Damn, no, I ain't gonna
Controversial.
I ain't gonna lie to you. Jeez. I grew up on Murder Mood, but I ain't gonna lie, right now, I fuck with Hitman, bro. Hitman is
okay.
Hitman.
How was dope?
killer, bro.
Yo, shout out Tay Rock, man. Tay Rock is the best battle rapper out right now.
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay.
All
Nobody's touching Tay Rock right now.
He getting busy.
I
can't
don't want to be rude, but he just had a battle with the man.
So we on opposite ends of it.
I rock though, rock cold.
Yeah. No, they get busy.
Now, would y'all consider jumping in that arena?
Yes,
that's what
Nice. Oh, I love the emphatic and like no second thought. Yeah. Let's go.
Okay.
Wonderful. No, that's great because
any rapper out there who wants smoke too, we with all of that.
Yeah, let's go. Yeah. Spirit of competition.
No, that's super dope because I love that you know, in this climate that you got people that want to compete.
Yeah.
Like, and it's not just competing for like, you know, I want a hit record or I want a super dope album. It's like, no, I want to prove I'm the best rapper like in the world, cause like, I like that.
It's I ain't gonna lie, it's a what you want to call it, a two-sided coin with that.
Yeah.
That shit can go either way.
Right.
You can start motherfucking rapping against a motherfucker, they take it personal.
Right.
Take your ass out.
Exactly. Yeah.
Which it is what it is with that too, but man. You get if you're a rapper, you know the essence of this shit. You know where this shit came from, man.
Exactly.
Motherfucking put that pen to that pad and bar up.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
you either with it or you not, man. Like
right.
If a motherfucker diss you and you so mad that you can't come up with a diss back or you can't even motherfucking hold your own, should you really be rapping?
No.
Facts ain't for you.
Like
Big
it's
facts.
like to answer for all the rappers that might be feeling the way. No, you shouldn't. You shouldn't. You should get out the way. Let people do what they do because that's what this is. It is an art form. It is no different from you know, painting or I mean of course singing, of course, like anything, football, basketball, tennis, golf, whatever it is. Like if you're not in the spirit to compete within the realms of the profession, back the fuck away, man.
Yeah. I feel like people like to pick and choose certain aspects of music. Especially the hip hop genre, people like to pick and choose certain shits that they like from that, and really that fucks up the whole culture of hip hop because it's like you can't separate that and keep it separated.
Yeah.
Eventually, you're gonna have to bring all the elements of hip hop together to
absolutely
become whether you want to be an artist or a singer or a rap sing type motherfucker, whatever you want to do. Like hip hop is still the base for all of that shit.
Yeah.
You can just pick and choose what you want out of hip hop. You either want hip hop or you don't.
And at its base, the art form is competitive in nature. It's been like that since the beginning. So motherfuckers that be on that, like, nah, man, like I'm gonna have to come at you with some on some street shit. That's some bullshit, man. Y'all gotta get out the culture with that.
That's a fact.
Absolutely. I remember.
Oh wow.
Yeah. No, we're gonna talk. We're gonna throw in the music too, man. Come on, we gotta do this. So I remember. What inspires that? As I get into like a lot of subcategory questions about things that you remember. So off top, what is one of the first things that sparked your mind? Like, I remember as a joint, I need to pen for who, for what? Was it more internal? Was it external? Was it for a certain person?
Man, okay, so the way I remember came about was, damn, I had just got off of work and we was hitting this new studio spot that we used to go to. It is what it is with that.
Alright.
Fucking, I was chilling and I was in the crib and I'm like, I know I gotta write, like, but every time I try to sit down and write, if it don't come out organically, that shit is gonna be a force. And that's when I just can't. I gotta shut down. I can't write no more. So I was like, fuck it, let me grab a bottle. Instantly got smacked. I don't even remember what the hell I was drinking. I think it was some Grey Goose or some shit like that. But I'm writing. And I had like 3 versions to the shit.
Oh, damn.
I was like, none of these fit like how I want them to fit. They were all decent, but like for me to settle and be like, all right, this is what I want to do. It was like, and then out of nowhere, I remember just came. It was literally like out of a drunken thought.
Okay.
I was listen to the song and be like, man, what was he? And I was like, it's definitely, that shit definitely stemmed from something. All the lyrics stemmed from something because all the lyrics are true. It was like when I was creating that shit, it just flowed. It was like, this is what I want. This is what I want to say. And I remember came up.
Nice. So is that song in its totality, just for the different things that you talk about, is that your blueprint as far as the type of artist you want to be when you're in album mode?
Man, when I tell you, you can listen to any one of my songs and none of them are gonna sound the same.
Okay.
I have no damn idea. At all.
I dig it.
Oh man, it's just incredible to see like that type of artistry coming out of you, cause especially having like different sounds and saying that they don't sound the same. Like, what are you shooting for when you create?
Man, good music, man.
That's it.
Good music.
All right.
It was really. I just love creating.
Okay.
When I'm writing, I'm sitting there like, damn, I can't wait to see what this shit gonna sound like at the end of it. Like I'm not writing it. Like I just want good product, and I got a passion for this shit. And everything that I write is coming from the soul, whether it's a concept for the song, whether it's a structure for the song or not. Like all of it's coming from the soul.
No doubt. Twin Blickies. Yeah, let's get into it. I mean, like you already kind of feel like you know what time it is when you hear something like that. Just by the time, Twin Blickies, okay, it's lit. But I want to I want to dig into that because when you drop Twin Blickies, Two Blickies. I'm sorry, no, I had to write the first time. People always assume things, and then it could be the other. So give us your mind state and your process when you were coming up with that.
Sure. I mean, I ain't gonna lie to you. I want to shout out Bodie because he sent me that beat. That was just a beat out of nowhere. I just wrote to. I wrote that. I had just had a little show at ATL. It was like one of my first performances ever, like by myself. And I don't know. I was just like just going the whole process of going to a different state. Like it just elevated me. You know what I'm saying? Like meeting different people from. You know what I'm saying? And just traveling and all that. And I drove it up. So I mean, I came back and I was just I don't know. I was just in a mindset with like I'm just in a new mode, and that's really like it. I don't really. Let me see. Like I don't know, bro. It really just saying like I'm on a new level, bro. And that's just like mentally the way I'm about to go so much heavier with this music. Like I said, I've been doing this for 2 years. So and it really like it stood for code for we got homies that's twins. You know what I'm saying? I was comparing them to. You know, my homies and shit like that. And the song was a slight shout out Kenzo, OG Woody. So, yeah, it was real slight. I just dropped a little video to it and everything. It was real. Go check that out on YouTube. Real slight.
Absolutely. Tooling up and killing the game. I think that's, and that's also a message that can't be denied in music either. Like you, again, hip-hop for the new young guys that are trying to cut through. Yeah. And that's a word I like to use, cut through, because nobody just wants to blend in. You don't want to just be there to participate. You want to cut through. You want to reach a certain level of success that you all have in your minds. And it's important that you do push the content and you do push just, not only going to say your brand, like that you push what your core foundation is to what you do out there to the people so they get with it. You know what I'm saying? Obs3rve, we got you real quiet, man. We gotta get you in the conversation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So the first thing I didn't realize until we follow each other on Instagram is that you have a 3 in your name.
Yes, sir.
So I always like to check symbolisms, right? So break down the 3 for me. I believe I know what it is. I think it's about your skill set, but to confirm it with me. What you got? But what the 3 in Obs3rve? What does that mean for you?
Yeah, that's a dope observation, man. With 3, that's my favorite number, and so I always think that in tangent, anything happens in pairs of 3s. How the 3 of us met. Yeah.
Wow. Damn. Wow. This nigga's really blowing my mind already.
Right,
sorry. Early. I'm wow, sure. We really are meeting in 3s. Damn. All right, cool.
Yeah, and just all my life, man, 3 has always reappeared in a lot of different situations. The name Obs3rve, I figured instead of putting the E, there's 3 letters on the left, 3 letters on the right.
Okay.
Yeah, and with just call him.
Hey, he's working. He's busy. You know what I'm saying?
And I actually never really noticed that. With being an artist, producer, and then engineer as well. But I just think just 3 is one of those numbers that's just really lucky. And I feel like anytime I do something, if I don't succeed on the first try, I do it a second time. If I don't succeed that time, then I know for damn sure on the third time, I'm going to take what I didn't learn from the previous 2 times and apply it to the third time. And then usually become successful. So, but yeah, man, I just love the number 3, man.
Okay.
And to fall into his whole 3 theory, it's September 16th. It's the 3rd Sunday of the month.
Let's go. Let's go.
That's wild shit. Okay, yeah, like we didn't plan that. We just scheduling people and how they hit us up.
Yeah,
like that's wow. That's insane. So all right. So to move forward, as I'm blown away by the whole 3 theory thing. That obviously is not a theory; it's a fact in his life. So that's dope. What inspired you to click up with these 2 gentlemen and start being a producer and an engineer? I'm assuming as well as also kind of like the business card, the calling card, because like we meet you and then you introduce us to them, and you were like, no, I got these dope dudes. Right. Like they get busy, we want to come on y'all show. So how do you even get there?
Just to that point, just to kind of throw in some background, how we met. I went to SIU Carbondale.
Okay.
I transferred down there as a junior, was supposed to live off campus. They ended up putting me in a dorm with all black males. We just so happened to end up being roommates. I walk in on the first week, meet KaSean, he's my roommate. Our next door neighbor is Denzo. I look at his tattoo and see, hey, bro, you like hip hop. I'm like, that's cool. I like, I mess with music too, or whatever. Nice. So we clicked over that. Asked each other what we did. At the time, we weren't actively engaged in our music careers because, we just got started up at school. Yeah. Denzo was so focused on playing basketball. We had a basketball game and he wanted to fight us. and these two were about to, bro, when I say these two was going to go to war, bro. So, mind you, this is the first week of like school, bro. So from there, I started homing in on just the music, audio engineering down there. I was in this program with this dude who I didn't even know about when I got down there. His name's Todd Harriman. He used to be Prince's piano tech and Michael Jackson's piano tech and an audio engineer. Okay. And this was just down at SIU in Carbondale, which I got another friend, shout out to Ishay all day. She the one that introduced me to Todd, and me and KaSean actually ran into her in the student center. She goes just as crazy. That's another person I gotta get.
She had just came off a talent show too.
Just
she was like this little short, little female rapper.
Yeah.
And she told me I just came down there from killing it. I'm
like, what, me?
Okay, let me hear what you got. And
she's in the
studio. She was fire.
Nice.
Going crazy. So she introduced me to the whole audio engineering program down there. I learned what I learned from Todd about just everything about music business in terms of how to connect the dots with everything. And then also on the engineering side, how to do everything on that aspect. And then from there, mind you, during this entire time, this is like 2013, 2014, 2015, we weren't on any music like at all.
Okay.
So it wasn't until, I got out of SIU, and then we kind of all went into our own separate lives, and then
that was a dark time.
Yeah, we all went through. Yeah, we were all going through. I would say dark periods in our life during those times.
Music was definitely on pause for that time.
Yeah, definitely. So and then going into 2018, that's when me and KaSean had linked back up, and then during this time, I also met someone who had a studio. And so we were at the moment talking about connecting the dots with bringing in some new artists, and I was like, say less. I know somebody who we can get in there. So I thought of KaSean saying, hey, don't you rap? Cool. Let's link up and get in the studio. I want to see what you really can do. Because I knew he wrote, but I didn't know to what extent. Because he never showed me anything, right?
Right.
And so from that first time we get in the studio, then all 3 of us started linking up. And then we called it, going back to the first part of the conversation when you said the progression.
Yes.
Yeah, every time we linked up, it was called the progression part 1, progression part 2. We just did the progression show like last Saturday.
Show called the progression.
January, and we just kept indicating these markers of just evolution within our personal lives, our musical lives, and everything in between. So then we were like, okay, progression part 1, part 2, part 3. Yeah. We kept recording content, more content, and just kept helping each other elevate our mindsets to where we want to go, holding each other accountable. And then, just recently, last week, we threw our first show. So that was dope to finally get out and perform in front of a crowd, So that's pretty much how everything came up to this moment in time to where we at today.
Wow, nice.
So
man, that's incredible.
Yeah, no, that's super dope, and I think I like the fact that it almost feels destined in a way for at least you 3 to work on something.
Yeah,
and even with the dark period that you all go through, and you put music on hold, but in the end you still click back up. And now you're back doing music again. It's almost like it was just meant to be just that nucleus for all of you.
Yeah.
So that's super dope. So now, with you also being an artist, how was that working with 2 other artists? Because obviously you have your own sound and your own thing. This gentleman does, so does this gentleman. So how do you, I guess, basically split your brain to be like, hey, this is my artist mode, but boom, now let me focus on these 2, and then they artist mode.
That's a cold question.
Yeah. So, you know, with anything that I do, I always try to make sure I can focus in on it and home in on that craft at in that moment in time. So when it come to, you know, helping Denzo out to get his tracks up somewhere, cool. So I focus in on that. When it come to KaSean, you know, updating content and stuff like that, I can lock in on that. Okay. But then now that I'm at a point where I've never been at in the past 5 years, to sit down in I like to call it the vault.
Okay.
With 2 Yamahas right there. They got the whole setup.
Yeah.
I can just lock into this zone now where I can really fine tune. And for me, it's just, I love rhythm because I'm a drummer. So within my artistry, what I do is I attach words to cadences.
Okay.
Okay.
So I attach those words to cadences, come up with a beat that's, you know, a little spicy, maybe throw some samples in there too.
Right.
So like my artistry is this like, it's like this compounding thing that just, one day I feel like rapping. You know, I like to say, you know, once they fully start getting on rapping, I'm gonna be the sleeper. You know,
okay.
You know what I'm saying? And then that's when I'm gonna start.
You're one of the coldest freestylers I've
Yeah.
ever met.
Nice.
It's just, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But you know, in terms of like the artistry with being a wordsmith, that's not my focus right now.
Okay.
Right now, I'm just so tunnel visioned on producing music into every capacity, in the dots from people who I see just as passionate about music as I am, and then just sharing that connection. But there's gonna come a point in time when I do have that mental shift, and I'm like, okay, I'm ready. Like I got this one song, which I meant to send it to you, but it's called "Tell Me What's the Plans for Your Life."
Okay.
Tell me what's your plans for the night. What's your plans for the night? Hey, tell me what's your plans for your life. Tell me what's your plans for the night. And then I start breaking it down, but I'm going to let that be right now.
All right, okay.
And, you know, I'm going to awaken some of the other things. And then once I'm ready to fully commit to putting out songs where I'm actually either rapping and things like that, and I'll get to that point. And all the time, it may be 2030 by the time we get there.
Okay, all right.
You know, but it's gonna get there. That's
right.
My man D Laflair. I'm sorry. Hold on. We got to take a quick music break because we've mentioned basketball. And him being one of them hoopers, so like I want to ask some. I want to get into a sports mind real quick. You know what I'm saying?
Like, I dunked on you before.
Yeah.
Can we talk about it?
We just
Like,
me.
he got super focused. He was like, I don't know what this nigga talking about.
Right. Man, I got a ball in the car. What you want?
He was like, no. It's like as soon as this is over with, like, that's what you want to do. So I don't want to get into like best player, best team. I want to know because I think favorites always get misused, especially when we talk basketball, because people gonna get their 4 McDonald's ass answers. We know. But I want to know because, like, obviously somebody had to inspire you to play ball. But what do you think your style of ball like? What player do you think that you like, even mentally and just like not even like form, but like mentality on how you handle, how you compose? Who do you think is the player that inspired you the most when you were really serious about hooping?
Nah, shoot. God damn, that's crazy. That's a hard question because I went through phases. Like I go through phases. I ain't gonna lie, when D Rose was lighting up the city, there was nothing greater to see that. Especially me being a point guard, like to see him do that. And then he went to Simeon. You know, he did. You know, he's Chicago, so like that inspired me. But I realized like I can't play like him because he's 6'3", you know what I'm saying, stuff like that. But I mean, basically, started with D Rose. I really LeBron. This has got to be LeBron.
Okay.
Just because, not even because like I love his mental, like making every play try to be the best play, and like that's the way you should do your life. Like everything you do, you know what I'm saying, should be precise. LeBron, he be on point every play, like try to make the best basketball decision. That's how you win games.
Okay, absolutely. So do you so with LeBron being one of your top influences, do you think you are, especially because now you've transitioned into music, are you becoming more inspired by his business savvy? Right. Because I believe before I get into what I believe, I'll let you answer the question. My bad.
But I mean, shoot, to be honest with you, I mean, yeah, he's the ultimate. Like, if you just look at all the, man, bro, to be a kid that, you know what I'm saying, coming from really nothing and to like, and he didn't even go to school for it. Right. So that's what really impresses me about it. You know, he had to learn this on site. Yeah. He's got his hands in everything, you know what I'm saying? And I love, like, it ain't just about skill level, it's about, I feel like, impact. And LeBron definitely, you know what I'm saying, he gives, you know, every NBA player get back, but, you know, he just opened up a school. So, you know, that's some real stuff to me. So that's really about, like, you supposed to use your influence to help the world, really.
No doubt. One thing that will not get highlighted until like LeBron is probably 50 years old, maybe later, is that how he's completely changed the landscape of the NBA athlete.
Oh yeah.
Right? Think about it like this. Like, people talking shit now about how players just hop from team to team, getting the check, bouncing out, doing whatever they do, right? They're positioning it to make it seem like all players are money hungry, all they just niggas that don't know shit and they just, you know, blah, 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 right? However, you go back to the 80s when the Lakers tried to sign Magic Johnson for like a 10-year contract for $1 million a year. And he's easily the top 3, if not the best point guard ever.
Yeah.
And then you think about how Jordan really wasn't getting his bread until the Air Jordan release. Yeah. Because they lowballed the shit out of him. And then you look at guys like Rick Mahorn, right? After the Pistons win the title, they do the expansion team. Oh, you got to go. You and the other dude. Y'all out. Y'all got to go. Yeah. And they ain't got no say in that. When other players get traded, like you even look at what's going on with my man in Toronto. They threw him to the Spurs. He don't even want to go. Right. Like, and Kawhi don't want to go to Toronto. But they like, no, fuck it. Bye. Right. Like, and that's it. LeBron, and I'll explain how we did it, right? LeBron, from draft night, hot commodity. All he has to do now is show and prove and live his potential, right? Overexceeds it. Makes the playoffs. Makes the finals. He gets swept, but he makes the finals. Bottom line, contract is up. He's the #1 player in the world. He then turns his move to Miami into a marketing ploy. It turns into a television show. You know what I'm saying? And you have the #1 player in the NBA saying, I'm going to go to another team that is probably less than mine, and I'm about to make them a winner. Yeah. So then he increases the value of that franchise as well as that city while the other one goes down. Contract's over, he goes back, does the same thing. Oh my God, yeah. Now in this point, now the Lakers are down. Yeah. They doing anything to try to stay relevant as far as the world of sports. Now he there, and now what's the talk? LeBron has franchised the NBA. Yeah. Like, that's brilliant. That is beyond brilliant. That is business on a level that people will not understand and respect until it becomes commonplace. Mm-hmm. But the thing is, you have to be the very best at what you do to make those type of moves. Yeah. And he's showing, like, you know, he's showing that, because like even how, you know, Jerry and them clowns made Jordan retire again and go to the fucking Wizards. Like, even that is like, Jordan should have been like, fuck it, I'll go to Milwaukee. Fuck what you on? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but it was that, oh no, I'm gonna stay with my team, I'm gonna stay loyal to my team. Oh, this team that's gonna trade you whenever they feel like it after the title. And they were like, oh, we ain't gonna get no better than this. Like, won yourself, you're done. You know what I'm saying? So like, I think all of that is why, if anything else, people just need to like respect LeBron, like the business acumen and his team, because his team is his homies. Like, they literally come up, they learn this game for themselves, and that's what they do. So
put them in position.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think and I say all that to say I like that you three have come together. You can split your brain between artists and production. You have a passion. It was for basketball, then it's also now music. your favorite player is LeBron, and like that business, and then you are standalone. Like there is no like, nah, these the little homies are like, nah, I'm just here until this point. It's like you all have it like where, like it's literally like moving as a unit to progress and move up. Like I mean, hey, you all three come together. We meet you, but then like you falling back, and we're all about these two. Like and I think it's just those little things like that make moments like what he's doing happen.
Yeah.
That was probably a long ass tangent. I apologize.
Nah, bro.
I was like, no, I was like, I don't think people realize what LeBron is doing. Like, LeBron has turned himself into his own franchise, and he's using teams like teams use players.
Yeah, and that's how it should be.
Like,
exactly.
That shit is super ill. Like,
I mean, for him to be out in LA now, bro, that's like, I feel like everybody was just shook up. Yeah. Just like, because that's just a mega move. Wait, but that's Kobe's team. Well, now it's LeBron's. And watch what he's about to do with this franchise.
Yeah.
Especially once his boys get older, too, and they can start playing in the NBA, which, of course, you know is going to happen.
The way he finna mold the Lakers team in general is just fucking nuts. There's no way you're finna be on a team with LeBron and not pick up any aspects of what he does, whether it's business or athletics. Putting everybody in tune, man.
The locker room conversations, can you imagine?
And now with his next goal being to play with or against his son in the NBA,
that's crazy.
You gotta you're like, yo, I see what's happening, Brian.
Yeah. I see what's happening.
I respect
Brian to you, Brian.
Yeah.
I respect you. You know what I'm saying?
Now I gotta ask Obs3rve, man. I heard you get into your production bag a little bit. Now I gotta ask, if you could lock in with anybody, any producer, go beat for beat, y'all can collab on it. You study under their tutelage, whatever. Who would you want to lock in with?
Can I name a couple?
Man, you can name as many as you like.
I'm locking in with Illmind. I'm locking in with Kanye. I'm locking in with Mike Dean.
Ooh,
I'm locking in with Quincy. I'm locking in with Tiesto. Or not Tiesto, but what's his name? Bass Nectar.
Okay.
Lauren. I'm locking in with producers like that. Symbolic.
That list long, huh?
I would literally say
you plan to stay busy for a while.
But definitely top 3: Illmind, Kanye, and Mike Dean.
Nice.
Dope. Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, I ain't mad at that at all, man. Yeah, because I can see you picking up a lot of different flavors and techniques and bringing what you got to offer to them. Like, yo, check out what I got to offer in the situation.
For real. Because I come from a classical background. I started playing drums when I was like a shorty. I mean, I started with the pen doing a...
Okay, yep.
I started off with that.
I see it.
My parents peeped that and bought me a mini drum set. I got into the school band and started playing the tuba, so that's where the melodies started to come. Realized that I did not want to play the tuba. Because first of all, I was down in Florida, bro. I was shaped like so it was hot as hell. I was shaped like a milk dud, bro. So I was like just sweating all the time with this big ass tuba, bro. And so I was like, I've had it. I want to play the drums. So I moved up here. Finally got into the drums and then went through like jazz band, classical.
Okay.
Percussion ensembles, playing different like percussive instruments and stuff, and then eventually once I really got into college, that's when I locked in. Well, freshman year of high school, I torrented FL Studio from LimeWire.
Right.
You gotta do it.
Started making beats at the crib, and then from there, once I really got to college, that's when I digged in on like learning how to really produce, and not produce in the sense. I should say I started learning how to make beats.
Okay.
And then once I started learning how to make beats and started perfecting that, got down to SIU, and then that's when I had a full basement full of Mac computers where I could really go crazy. So that's when I really fine-tuned, like, okay, everything that I know from the kinetic sense of playing music and understanding it, how can I, beat make it on a computer?
Oh, wow.
Transmute my thoughts into this computer and then have it spit back out. Something that's banging, right?
Nice.
And then once I started doing that, that's when I started getting into there's beat making and then there's producing music, So
absolutely.
Knowing to call this vocalist because his voice may fit better with this rapper, but putting them over a certain BPM because we know that it's going to react you know, 150 BPM is gonna make your heart race more than 96 BPM.
Okay.
You just wanna chill back and relax. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Putting frequencies in the right place, knowing that at 437 hertz, your DNA is gonna start to repair itself, right?
Right.
Ooh.
So
Okay.
like really diving deep into it and understanding like the music production aspect to create what people love to hear, because people know, you know, when something don't sound right. That's just natural. The same way we don't know when we don't feel something, it's the same way we know that something doesn't sound right. So if you can perfect how to make people feel through sound and in person.
I'm glad you said that's a perfect segue into my next question. I'm going to ask each and every one of you, how important is authenticity with what you do?
I think that should be at the core of everything that you do. Just being authentic to who you are and what you can present to the world, and being transparent about what your interests are and what you don't like, and being able to communicate that to people. That's what really sets you apart from, you know, XYZ, you know. So authenticity about what your craft is, but who you are, you know, at your roots and your core, and where you came from and where you're going, you know. So I think that's definitely fundamental.
That's another loaded ass. Like, check it out. If you doing this, and you're an artist that's on a come up, you said being authentic to what you do, right?
Yes.
If you're an artist and you don't write your own shit, come clean, my nigga.
Right.
You don't. You're an amazing singer. Say that.
Right.
But as far as like artistry goes, I feel like you can call yourself an artist, you definitely can, because it's definitely just some people out there who are meant to sing, it's some people out there who are meant to write, produce, construct, whatever you're doing.
Right.
But be authentic about that.
Right.
Don't be so gung-ho to be like, oh, I'm just such this amazing artist because of yada yada.
Right.
Like, if you don't have 100% of the aspects, like,
right. It's like it's literally like, are you the artist or are you the instrument?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I look at Mariah Carey, for instance, as an instrument. Like I don't know any song she's ever wrote that was a hit. I don't know those. I know the ones that Emmanuel Seal and Jermaine Dupri wrote, and they gave them to her, and she killed them.
Yeah.
So I think she's an instrument in this music industry versus like being an artist like Neo, who I think is the greatest songwriter of this era.
You think Neo? You think?
Yeah.
Who you got when you got Neo versus The Dream as far as song?
Oh, Neo.
I love this combo.
Yeah.
I love this combo.
Absolutely. Hey yo, Neo, especially like with in my own words, Libra scale and nonfiction. Hey.
That motherfucker wrote To the Left too.
Yeah, he wrote Irreplaceable. Right, like yo,
okay,
like,
I feel you.
Yeah, Neo is next level. Like
as far as what they wrote goes, my brain ain't working right, so I can't argue with you right now. But we definitely gonna revisit those.
No doubt, I love it.
A sleeper is Sean Garret.
Oh man, thank you. I was just about to throw that in there.
No, Sean Garret is dope.
Throw that in there.
I would say the race for Sean Garret and Dream is a lot closer than it is with either one of them and Neo.
What?
Yeah,
now that's crazy.
Really,
that would not have to argue. That's crazy.
Okay.
No, I
have to.
I think
when it
it's a
comes to
little
songwriters,
closer.
I definitely agree with you at Neo damn near being number one.
Yeah.
I feel like you gotta throw The Dream up there with Neo.
No,
I feel like you have to.
I will say that because I mean, if we look back at the pocket of time, The Dream gave away a lot of hits that I don't think some people even matter if they don't get their song.
That's a fact.
I mean, Jay Holiday being one.
Yeah.
Rihanna was dead out here before Umbrella. Let's just call it what it is. Nobody was.
Threw Beyonce some fire too.
Yup. I mean, nobody was on Pondy Replay like that. Like, get the fuck out of here. That shit was not banging. You know what I'm saying? Like, but she got Umbrella. And thanks to Mary J. Blige for turning that down. Salute to her.
Thank God.
Like, The Dream doesn't do those moves. It's like, do we care about Rihanna as much as we do right now?
But this is where you gotta think, because it's just like rappers. Certain rappers you can't compare. Like, you can't compare Cole and Kendrick. They two monstrosities.
See, I agree.
But, like with Neo, it's the same shit because they don't even write in the same style.
Right. No, absolutely, and that's why and I think and another reason why I'll give the edge to Neo, right, is because he's the only guy to definitely consistently do R&B, pop, and EDM records, all went.
This is a fact.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, Dream ain't got a time of your life. He ain't gotta give me everything tonight. He ain't gotta Who's Taking You Home. Like, it's just like Ne-Yo, like when people like around the Red album, when people stopped fucking with Ne-Yo, thinking like, oh, he ain't doing R&B no more. He was making EDM smashes. It was him, Pitbull, and David Garret.
Yeah.
I mean, oh no, David Guetta. Like, good. Right. They was like the top 40 soundtrack for like 2010 to 2012. So I give the edge of Ne-Yo every time. But no, Dream, dope. Sean Garrett, dope. But yeah. I think the heat, Sean to Dream is a little closer.
Okay.
My man, Laflair, how important is authenticity with what you do?
Yeah, like he's saying, if you're not really, you know what I'm saying, writing your shit completely, so I respect you if you can perform it. You know what I'm saying? I do respect that because that's a big part of the stuff too. But at the end of the day, like me, everything is coming straight from like experiences, everything I live, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And it's better that way. And then when you can really tell a real life event out your song, how it came to be, you know what I'm saying, or what the experience was, and make it even better. You know what I'm saying? And people may not be able to relate directly to that experience, but they can feel you, and that's all that matters. Like if they feel you,
I dig it.
That's all that matters. Like,
no doubt. So, my final question for you guys, before we get into just the promo and the plugging of yourselves, of course, is in this what they're calling the microwave era, where like people are assuming that okay, nobody's listening to the music, you should make short albums, you should make short songs, like all of that, and it's going to be digested fastly, whatever. Do you all feel any pressure to fit within that mindset, or to just do what you do and what you feel and let that cut through? So, I'm sorry, I didn't need to point to anybody first. So, my man, go ahead.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I think about that a lot. I mix it up. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, dope. I get real busy. Like I ain't gonna lie. Some of my best songs be like short, but you feel it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's all that meant. Like, you gonna feel it. But like, I feel like it's your job as an artist. Like, if you get them off the short stuff, then they gonna take the time to listen to the stuff that you get. What I'm saying? So it's really about you. You steer the way. You know what I'm saying? So.
I dig it. I dig it. KaSean.
Pressure as far as like what?
Like for instance, the big thing this year was the 7-song album, and everybody's feeling like, oh, and like between the 7-song album and feeling like, oh, I should drop every month, I should drop every quarter. Like I need 4 or 5 projects a year versus having like one dope ass project that rings off the next year.
I'm with that, but what we not gonna do is we gonna call 7 songs a fucking album. we not finna do that. That's not what's going on. Now you can call that motherfucker a mixtape,
right?
You can call it an EP. We're not calling that an album. That's not 7 songs. Come on now. And then half the damn songs are like a minute 30 seconds. And half your damn album is interludes. Come on now, man. We're not gonna do that.
Right.
I feel like this is definitely the generation where it's like fucking the microwave area where that shit gotta boom, boom, boom. You gotta keep going. But I feel like if you believe in what you're doing and you believe that shit is fire, and whenever you present that shit to people, you present it as it's fire, they're gonna receive that shit like, oh, this is the gas. Listen to that shit, and they're gonna be like, all right, this is what I want. It's up to you it's up to you to create your music. If you don't want your shit to be microwave, like make long-lasting songs.
Yeah,
like,
right.
That shit has to have some longevity, some substance, something. Like it can't just be 7 songs of some random shit.
Right. No, absolutely.
Or you not saying that.
Right. Oh no, same question for you, sir. Because you come from both sides. Like even though you're in the tuck as far as an artist, like I mean for production, engineering, like do you feel like, oh man, new month, new project, new month, new song, or is it like, nah, are we gonna put dopeness out, let that live, push that, work that, and then we'll get back to it when we get back to it?
Yeah, man, it's a conundrum. I'm on both sides of the spectrum.
Okay.
Where I would say I lean more towards the side of creating something that's timeless and taking the time to really fine-tune every single aspect because it cannot be destroyed. And so when we're far and gone from here, these will be the imprints that reflect our experiences from how we lived our life, right? So I would love 100 years from now for people to listen back on the songs that we created on this podcast and be like, damn, I remember when they dropped that song back in 2018. It's 2070 now, and it's still fucking bumps.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So like stuff that can last a lifetime in the sense that it's not just for the moment, but because it was something new during the time where everything was just popping up fast. And I like to call it imitation crab, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, whereas imitation crab in a sense where, you know, oh, this is what's popular right now, so let me do it for the now. No, create something that's never been done and make it last forever because, you know, it can't be replaced, you know. And we can name off 1,000 songs that have done that, you know, from anyone in the industry. But yeah,
absolutely.
That's where I sit at on that. So you definitely gotta take time, let it boil, let it simmer, you know, add some spices to it,
definitely,
and then get that nice, you know, near perfected song if you can. So
absolutely,
make a meal out of it instead of just some candy that'll be quick. You feel me? Yeah.
You know, I thought what was very telling. I think it was Billboard also that dropped this. Here we are, going into the fourth quarter of 2018, in the summer. Kendrick Lamar still has a top 10 album.
Yeah.
And that joke came out last spring. Not this past spring, last spring. And I was like, so obviously, you know, like, wow, and no disrespect to these guys, but like, you know, Gucci put out 4 or 5 albums last year. Migos put out, with their wit culture, between Culture 1 and Culture 2, they dropped 3 more projects in between that, like the Offset and 21 joint, the Travis and Huncho joint. And yet, none of those were like in that top 10. It's like, so it's quantity really beating the quality. And not saying that they don't have the ability to make the quality, but maybe the focus should have been more compartmentalized. Give you 20 joints that you can't deny for the next 24 months, and then come back around. Just something I like to throw out to the artists, because you never know. Because I mean, like, everybody sees the waves, right? Yeah. We all see the waves. Like, oh, we're told that we see this person the most. This person is putting out the most. They must be the hottest. They must be the best.
Yeah.
But depending on how you're defining your success, if it's versus being seen or being able to disappear, depending on how you look at it.
True.
Are we short on time?
You know. Oh no.
All right. Because defining your success. It's funny that you say that because
yes.
I have a real problem with people trying to define other people's success.
Nice.
Like, say something is working for another artist, and then like somebody's like, "Oh, you gotta do this. This is working for this motherfucker." Like,
right.
No, like, fam, everybody has their own lane.
Yes.
Everybody has their own motherfucking way of promoting, or if you want to call it a gimmick, to motherfucking get them ahead. Like, I feel like nobody should tell other people like, yo, you should do this or you should do this, unless it's a way of exposing you more without
the
compromising. Without you compromising your artistry, because that's the big deal on what's happening right now. You'll see a lot of artists, and they'll be a certain type of way before they get on, and then when they get on, that shit'll flip. Because they was fucking with so-and-so, or they decided to sign here, or they decided to do this to get more promotion, they would have compromised their artistry, and it makes me not even fuck with them no more. It's trash, man.
No, hey, again, that's why, and again, that's so why we earlier asked about authenticity into what you do, and like, and I'm glad that you all are on the mindset that the success of one does not equate the success for me. So
I try to promote that every time. Nice. Like, we'll be in situations a lot of the times. Me and him will be talking, and like he'll present me with a topic, and he'll be like, "Damn, bro, I think this would be a good idea for us to do." And he's not wrong, because he never presents me with bullshit. It's always something fire. And he's like, "Yo, maybe we should do this, yada yada yada. You can do this, you can get on ahead with that." And I'll be like, "Damn, that sounds like something that'd be fire, but it'd be fire for my man's right here."
Yeah.
Okay.
Dope.
I like, if it's, cause I know how he raps, and I know his artistry. I know he's one of those. He's a confident motherfucker. Like, he commands a presence.
Right.
All three of us do, but just in different ways.
Right.
I know if you want to shine, if you want somebody to send out there that you gonna be like, all right, send his ass out there. He do that shit. I'll be like, man, maybe Denzo should do that shit, because that ain't really my speed. Or if it's like some chill shit, he'd be like, yo, bro, I think we should perform here. It's like motherfucking
it's a cool vibe, people around, you got some cool music, boom, I'm on that shit.
Nice.
Like, if it's something chill, if I can kind of get hype with it, but still keep them in the vibe, that's pretty much where I'm at.
All right.
Like,
I dig it.
But certain shit, I just be like, yeah, maybe he can do that because that shit live. He
right.
If you want to turn up, or if you want to hit some real shit, and you one of them motherfucking street niggas, like, go to my man's, like,
yeah. That's his lane.
Laflair, man, he got that shit. If you want to hit some real shit and like you from the streets, but you not out there motherfucking banging, you like come holler at me, man.
And if you need some jazz music,
sell it off.
You feel me? Like we have all
aspects.
Yeah, all aspects is covered.
You want to throw on a nice suit, go to a lounge and sip some cognac.
We can give you
they got this some for that as well.
You want to hit some motherfucking rap over rock beats? We got that shit too. Like we do this shit.
Nice. Awesome.
Like, everybody has their own lane. Everybody has their own way of driving straight, but being parallel to each other.
Nice. I like it.
That's how we work.
I like it. I like it.
Hey man, we got the rap game Big 3 right here in the studio.
Right. I'm definitely excited to hear and see more. I definitely want to stay abreast with all of you cats for sure.
Oh man, I just want to say thank y'all for coming through, man. I appreciate every last one of y'all, man. And I'm definitely dialed in and tuned in on y'all, man. Can't wait to see y'all succeed, man.
Yeah.
Like, for real.
Oh man,
absolutely.
That, Mike.
So what we want to do is right now, I want you to all plug yourselves as far as your socials and your upcoming projects that you got coming out. So start my man D Laflair, what you got, and where can we find you?
Let's see. You already know it's your boy Denzo Laflair, Denzo 2 times. You know, all social media is Denzo 2 times. I ain't gonna lie, on the Facebook page or fan page, you know, it's D.Laflair. Now the music, when you see my music in name, it's gonna be D.Laflair. Everything.
Right.
Apple Music, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But I got some crazy stuff coming out. I got an EP dropping. It's gonna be real sick. It's my debut. That's gonna be on Apple Music. It's gonna be off the charts. I ain't got no name for it, but I got some tracks on it that's like off the man, Joe. Like stuff that you wouldn't be able to copy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like type of artist. You know, I XXX, bro. Like
nice.
Out of this world. Like if you listen to the stuff that he come up with, like that Spotlight. You can't copy that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's the type of music I respect. Like you make something. And nobody will be able to, you know what I'm saying? But
deny that shit.
Yeah, you feel me? But it's coming out. That's gonna be coming out before the year ends. So I'm thinking December, but I'm trying to push some heavy singles. Like I said, follow me, Denzo 2 times. We on the journey.
No doubt. You know? All right, my man KaSean, where can they find you and what you got coming next?
Yeah, you can find me on my social media. You can find me on Twitter at BobbyTenderLove, on Instagram at BobbyTenderLove. If you want to holler at me on Snapchat, that's my actual name. At KaSean.6, KAN.6. Come holler at me. Man, right now I'm just releasing an abundance of singles. October 1st, stay tuned, man. Black Mass coming out. Me and Denzo Laflair, our new feature, man. Our new single.
Hey.
Okay.
Fire.
All right. I will anticipate. I will listen. That is a definite. That is a definite.
Facts.
My man, Obs3rve, what you got?
So, yeah, in terms of my socials, you can reach me at Obs3rve.com. That's OBS3RVE.com. Sign up with your email. Stay in tune with the progression. Become an Obs3rver. Instagram at Obs3rve. 0BS3RVE. So literally the number 0 BS3RVE because somebody else has the name Obs3rve. I already sent it out to be like, yo, can I have this?
Hey man, give us that name, man.
Right, you got to.
He won't give it up, but I already got it like trademarked. So
basically.
At some point you're gonna have to give it up. I'm gonna need that O.
Right. It's like yeah, we got 2 words for you: cease and desist. Like,
the switch up is coming. You don't even know it.
Right. Like, get down and lay down. It's just how we do it.
So, everything, Instagram, Twitter, SoundCloud, at Obs3rve, OBS3RVE. Check out my website. I got a beat tape I'm finna put together. Got some work coming up. I got a song recorded with KaSean that we gonna put out.
Facts.
I got a song recorded with Denzo out. So, we gonna keep progressing from here. So it's real right now. So thank y'all for being in tune.
Absolutely.
Stay tuned in the middle of September, man. I got a project coming out also. It's gonna be fire. It's a surprise.
Let's go.
All right.
We got a show recap coming too from the progression. So
we definitely got a show recap from last Saturday, man. I'm gonna tell you, if you did not show up, you missed out because we rocked that motherfucker.
There it is.
All right.
Nice. Awesome. Hey, excellent, man. We appreciate y'all brothers coming through. Hey, everybody that's listening, get your follows up.
Yeah.
Get your follows up. Follow these young brothers that's doing some things that they are very confident in their ability to conquer and cut through in this music industry. And those are the type of people that you need to always keep abreast of because they actually do it. The people that are crazy enough to believe they can do something actually do.
Do it. I'm telling you, they change the world all the time.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So we appreciate all of you guys coming through. We appreciate all of y'all for listening. Yeah. And as always, it is fans over critics.
You dig?
It is support what you love instead of bashing what you hate. And we always want you to be safe, be humble, and live hip hop.
Yeah.
It's Ken
Jones
for the Banging on Lunch Tables bonus, and we are right.